And it goes off like that. Like it's a fireball traveling through the sky already. And there's a couple little extra dollops coming on here.
Dollops.
Yeah. Dollops of fire. There you go. A nice burning earth. There's the...
Earth.
Put it on the webcam.
Earth.
Earth.
That's how a dog pronounces earth.
Yep.
Okay, what's up with the internet and dogs having this sort of not vernacular, this sort of speech pattern? You know what I'm talking about?
Like this is dog.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm dog.
Yeah. Dog is good. I like food. Like
Yeah.
people have they have a way you type when it's a dog. Does anyone have any examples of people on Twitter like speaking for their dog and stuff like
yes,
that?
this is dog.
Kind of, but like they have a cutesy language. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hi, people, and then
Where you going, Box Kid?
hey guys,
We're just gonna
gang's all here.
we'll hang out for a minute, but we got some extremely serious.
So I would
on.
just like to say I'm happy to be back this week. I can actually speak. Last week I had every intention of being on the show, except I lost my voice due to being sick, and it's kind of hard to do a talk show when you cannot talk.
It's because you're Italian and you were screaming at someone.
Yeah, with my hands gesturing wildly.
Is that how it works?
And here, I wanted it to be an interpretive dance show instead, but I couldn't find my leotard.
All right. Good
Hey.
morning, everybody.
Hi.
So we jump right into it?
Yeah, sure. Hi, all our viewers, all you guys. You're all great.
That's my favorite flavor of Kentucky Fried Chicken, CRISPR. Can't wait till they get some gene-edited
Extra
chickens.
CRISPR?
Extra CRISPR. Like some giant bear chicken.
Like is your kid CRISPR or extra CRISPR?
That's going to be the new flavor of children. But the problem is with CRISPR editing, there's going to be bugs. So when you edit CRISPR stuff, it's kind of like editing code on a computer. It's not extremely dissimilar. I mean, it is because it's a body and it's DNA strands and all that sort of thing. But doing base editing, you're editing one strand instead of two strands at the same time, and there's more there's more, I guess, side effects of that. Apparently, they're discovering that hundreds of little mutations that were unintended are happening.
Yeah, like now you have two right arms instead. Like,
Who
whoops. You have to wear F shirts instead of T shirts.
F shirts.
Yeah.
God, I wouldn't want to mess with a guy wearing an F shirt. Got two right hooks coming in. Like, guy's like, I got two right arms.
Yeah.
What? Just stay on his left side. Stay over here and keep trying to keep circling and be like, man, get over here.
Attack him from the left. It's fine.
That's how it works. All this is known.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait for this. What is it?
Why is that not showing up?
Are we online or what?
Yeah. No, people are listening to us. It's just weird.
Let's see. We'll
not...
make sure we're online. It says we're offline on Twitch, but I think we're online.
But you guys are seeing us, right? Like, we're not insane? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Rigor said we're online. Then we're fine.
Yeah, so whatever.
Everyone, if there's any technical issues today, take it up with Rigor. Thank you.
He'll take care of everything for you guys. No, I really can't wait for this. And you know what? I just want to sit back and watch everything burn. China's going to go crazy with editing babies. If you want to believe Alex Jones this week, he said they've been doing this since the 70s. Back then they were making chimera, like man pig and stuff like that. So we have man pig running around. This is all declassified.
Sure.
All declassified, all documents. I saw it on NPR.
Is that where, remember in the National Enquirer back in the 90s, Bat Boy was a thing? Is that where he came from?
Probably he's a chimera, yeah.
Oh my God,
Part
that
bat,
makes so much sense.
Part human. I mean, all they really did was they just sewed a bat's wings onto a human and said, chimera. Ooh. Just government funding. Give us money.
That makes sense.
But now they have there's way more possibilities because of CRISPR. And I just cannot wait to sit back and see what comes out of this. People with 4 heads and stuff like that. Not 4 heads.
Not like 5 heads or 6 heads either.
No,
like
four physical heads.
Oh,
and each one of those will have a 5 head.
Oh man, and each one.
How do you like that, everybody?
I don't know.
What are some of the mutations you're looking forward to, audience? What about you?
I want to have like cool backwards facing legs like a wolf, so it looks way cooler when I run. I don't think it will actually do anything. Maybe I can jump better or whatever.
So,
but
like-
have those cool like springy wolf backwards legs.
Kind of digigrade, but not.
Yeah.
But
And like a sonic scream.
a sonic scream.
Yeah, just like, be able to like break windows by screaming at them instead
Yeah.
of throwing rocks at them like I do now.
There's a level 1 map on the bottom. If you scroll down to the root of the folders, there's a level 1 map. You can run around in there and get an idea for all the stuff we can do. The swimmable water is great. I'm yelling at Christian, who's over there right now. We're playing in the Unreal Engine. It's playtime.
Yep.
This is the symbol for playtime. Yay! Anyway,
Yep.
anybody over there telling us what they're looking forward to?
I don't know. What do you want? What do you want for like superpowers and stuff? This is it.
I mean, China's suppressing this information. They don't want people to know about gene edited babies. It's one of the most censored topics on
Except we
Chinese media.
super know China spoiler.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
We know. Everybody knows.
You guys have been doing this for years. You're much smarter than everybody.
They're gonna
We
have
know. We know.
They have an umbrella academy or something going already. You can tell. Yeah.
I'd like to be able to ban people in real life.
People in real life.
That's isn't that an episode of Black Mirror?
Like, can you just mute people when they're talking to you and just be? Oh.
What's it called? The map?
What are the options on there?
Oh man, you got a lot. Testing C_01.
Should be like level 1 or map 1. It's not
Oh.
testing.
So we've got a. Is our chat showing up in the thing again?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, try that one.
So we've got like the ability to ban people in real life, read minds and super regeneration. Mike Hickey just wants a beer.
okay. So you can.
Rigor wants chicks with 3 boobs, like Total Recall. Was that right in Total Recall? Was that the one?
Total Recall, yeah.
Yeah, it was just 3 boobs.
Yeah. Okay, what would you do with that? I mean, we've evolved to look for a certain shape in a human being and think that is sexy. So would you actually enjoy that, or is it just you saying right now I want more of a good thing?
Yeah.
Is that what
Fox
it is?
Kid,
or
you're
is it-
thinking of the movie Attica.
Attica, not Gattaca.
Attica.
Attica.
I think it's Attica. Maybe it's Gattaca. It's
Gat-
one of those. Gattaca, Attica, Matica, Statica, Fatica. It's all Hapica.
So anyway, there's
Attica,
that.
Fatica. Now I don't even know anymore.
I'm gonna skip this one. Everyone,
right.
the bottom line of this article is, oh my God! Even the companies who are in California and the West Coast and that pretend to be like the saviors of humanity, they still love profit more than they love anything else. And so if the oil company needs help, they're gonna be like, how much money you got? This article is like, yes, of course they're going to help things that are bad because there's money involved.
And money, as we all know, is more important than oxygen.
If there were no laws, what would Google or Amazon not do? I think Microsoft actually has more of a conscience than Google and Amazon, which is weird to
That's
me.
really kind of creepy.
Yeah. I mean, they're all... I feel safer with Microsoft. Between the three, whom do you feel safest with if you had to pick an overlord?
Oh.
You can't just say nobody.
Yeah.
You have to pick Amazon, Google, or Microsoft, or Apple. Which of those do you feel
I don't know.
like is the best overlord?
What are the perks?
The perks, well, just you have to think of it as it is now. Like who?
I mean, Google already knows all your shit, so like,
Amazon. Whoa.
ooh,
Amazon is like that's literally the lowest on my list, below Apple.
wow.
Yeah, Amazon
Wow.
is below Apple for me. Because I think
At
Amazon,
least they have food. There you go.
like, I think Apple at least cares about their community and their customers to the point where like it's good for their bottom line. But Amazon will do predatory things right now to their community and their customers just because it'll reap a benefit 10 years down the road.
Haven't they?
They're playing the long game. They're like,
haven't
we
they-
will infect half the globe with cancer if it will make us $50 20 years from now. Like I
Haven't
see them.
they? Weren't they also saying Amazon is now trying out a new thing to reduce their carbon thing, according anti this article? But them being like, oh, we're only going to deliver to one household once a week, or something like that. Which is like, why do I even have fucking Prime?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
That's the well, you know, they're not going to do that. They're working on all kinds of, you know, contradictory technologies, like having their own drone fleet and having their own fleet of trucks and electrical vehicles and whatever. They're working on so many different things. But whenever the hippies show up with their longer beards than me and unwashed hair, they go, "Oh, here's what you want to know. Here's some. We planted a tree this morning. Oh my God, the best company ever." And like all my my plastic shit from China shows up in 2 days. This is wonderful company. So yeah. What's going on over there?
Karsnar, welcome to being the sword slinger. Congratulations.
He's like,
sling it at thy own will, I guess.
If you like.
Yeah, or don't. That's your call as sword slinger.
There's fish disappearing, climate change things.
Also, our insects are disappearing too. Like, that's not part of the article, but that's also a big thing that's happening. And
what am I drinking there? I'm drinking the Earth. Some really earthy medium roast coffee. They were out of dark roast, but I told them I'll take the medium roast. That's what I told them.
I'm sure that showed all of them.
Oh yeah, I was fuming.
Woo!
Didn't even say excuse me after I fumed.
You didn't apologize several times, but we're in Portland.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, because I've been browsing pictures of snow all day, and it's not here, and I'm angry. Fish are dying. Insects are dying. You know, insects, without insects, there's no things.
It's not good. Team.
But hey, this is a good thing. We can remake coal by sucking all the CO2 out of the air and injecting it back into rocks.
Oh, good. That's like drinking your pee in Waterworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Maybe we can rebuild all those mountains they destroyed in West Virginia. Dude, if you guys have never, there's a documentary about like them destroying all the mountains in West Virginia, and I'm from this part of the world. They literally took a lot of the most beautiful mountains and ripped like the top several hundred feet of the mountains off.
Yeah.
Just like they blew it off with dynamite, and you're like, my pretty mountains. This is why I am a tree hugger now. It's because of these bastards blowing up the mountains. But we can rebuild the mountains now.
Thank God.
By injecting rocks.
And then remine them, reburn everything again.
Headphones?
Thus the system continues.
Power.
Oh, power. What kind of cable?
Just a regular phone one, like a generic.
Like a Type-C.
Here. USB. Probably in that USB drawer right there in the bottom.
Do you need a Type-C or what? All right. Christian.
The black thing.
We're live right now, so...
Nothing's going on behind the camera at all, guys.
We're not,
Anyway, this is another one of these nice articles that's completely impractical because it's extremely expensive to do this sort of thing. And, I mean, I guess it's a nice thought to be able to suck the carbon out of the air and put it back into the ground where it was before.
Karsnar says, what about Mother Nature doing that to St. Helens? That was just awesome.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's when Mother Nature gets pissed and it's like, all right, you guys. Well, I'll show you. Get off my back, man. Boom. But
and just go Super Saiyan.
Plus, Mother Nature wasn't doing it to harvest coal. They were doing it for a good reason, like my back hurts or something. And
just doing to weed out some people.
Got those hikers, didn't
they?
Mm-hmm. That's about it. All right, let's skip that article too.
That's boring. Yeah,
that's boring. We've talked about it too much.
Lol.
Yeah. This is just a quick, funny article. Have you guys been into like a DMV or anything like that lately and you see these old computers with these green monitors? Or you go into the courthouse or something?
Yeah, and they're pulling things up on their like Commodore 64s to like tell you what's going on and stuff.
So what's going on with that in particular? I would feel like that maybe is less hackable than some of the new stuff, but probably not. I don't know.
I don't know either.
So yeah, we're still using computers and software from the 80s in a lot of our different governmental facilities, offices, whatever. This has got to stop. I'm calling the train company and telling them how important we are right now.
Cryptic, thank you for subscribing.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
That.
All right, this is what I've been wanting to talk about for a while today.
That's why it's the title of this episode.
Because this is something that we can modify into our own selves, right?
Yeah.
Like all this CRISPR stuff, a lot of that you can't really modify after you've been born or made. But so what is going on here?
Produced.
Yeah, you got your inside your eye, right? Got a lot of things going on, and like you got spectrums of light, and you can only see what's the regular RGB, right? You can only see that. You can't see anything above and beyond that.
The infrared spectrum and all that crap. Yeah.
So they've created some nanotechnology where they put these little nanobots essentially in your eyes, and they catch other spectrums of light, and then translate that into something that you can see by feeding it straight into like your rods and cones, right? So you got your rods and cones there, grabs the light, feeds it straight in. It's wild. So we've been doing this in mice already.
Okay, so are you talking like predator vision?
We're talking like infravision, yeah. Yeah, you can get infravision.
Yeah, that's what I want out of life, is to be able to like predator hunt people.
Right, and it's
on my private estate where I hunt man.
And all it's doing is just taking the light and translating it into something, because your rods and cones can only see a certain wavelength.
I got a rod to put inside your cone. It's a sex joke. Rods and cones, y'all. See, now the thing here, I'm glad I stopped him right here. The thing is, with rods and cones and all that nonsense, being able to see other wavelengths, yes, infrared is there, and there's ultraviolet and all kinds of stuff. All we can see is the rainbow. Ain't that delicious? Well, all this other stuff that's here, there may be stuff lurking, but you bump into it. But your eyes can't see it. There's lots of different wavelengths. And this week is a dangerous week, y'all. So I want to talk to y'all about interdimensional beings. And they is real. They's not what you think. And they have talked to the different institutions and that sort of thing. But like I said, this week is dangerous. And the reason is that Alex Jones's head has popped back up into the media thanks to our old friend Joe Rogan. And I know a lot of you guys have seen that. Now, Alex Jones actually this week said a lot of truthful things. But the problem is in the way he says it. He gets on a roll and he starts saying things like, you know, there's interdimensional beings, right? And then the next thing you know, he says, when I was little, I was dreaming and I was actually with the interdimensional beings because I'm an elevated thing and my pineal gland is swollen, and he just starts going crazy, and then he starts saying, oh, and by the way, did you know that everyone who eats pineapples for lunch actually is gonna grow a tail in the afterlife? It's just like, there's so much bullshit in between the stuff that's real. And you gotta be able to slice through it like that. Make sure you don't get confused. And the other thing is that a lot of people who enjoy that kind of content, well, they just like any old conspiracy. They ain't enough for them, and then they start looking for conspiracies everywhere. Like they can pick this up right here, and they can say, this book must have been put here to give me a message. So who's doing this? There's conspiracies everywhere, y'all, but they're not everything. And most people are too damn stupid to be doing a conspiracy in the first place. Back to the interdimensional beings. Now, we talked about the whole rods and cones thing and being infrared stuff that you can't see. So now you understand that there is stuff out there that you can't see. But what about stuff out there that's, you know, like not on a different wavelength, but on a different band entirely? Like, let's say the whole entire world is FM radio. FM radio, y'all. These are just waves. And then you got this other thing over here called AM radio, but your brain is just an FM radio. You can't tune to it. But what if you could tune to it? What if you could take some DMT and make your pineal gland go like this, and then start saying stuff? Well, is that just a trip, or is there something else out there? How do we connect with anything from another dimension? How do they connect with us? Well, technology will get you there. It's not always just some mind-altering thing, even though there's a lot of stuff going on in your mind. Our minds are not the right devices to be tuned to a lot of these other things. They can maybe hone in on it a little bit, get you some ayahuasca and vomit all over the place, maybe. I don't know. But the others out there, I don't know their names yet because I ain't met them. I didn't go to sleep and have no dreams about them or whatever. But they're there, and they can come to us. They've shared some of their technology, and if y'all want future videos talking about what these other interdimensional beings have been sharing with us, You just let us know, and we'll find out. Remember, slice through the bullshit, clear out the noise, and look for the signal.
All right, we're back.
Well, that happened. I'm okay with it. I was talking about rods and cones. It kind of was. It went with it.
Yeah, it was really nice how he decided to go along with the feel of the show.
Yes. All right. What would you guys like to hear a song about?
Yeah, hi everyone. We got Christian back there. Just
Not only does he create in the Unreal Engine,
yep,
he creates euphonious, beautiful, melodious music.
yep. This is what we have him do.
Do I have a pick? Hold on.
Give this man a pick. Sing a song about the hats of Justin.
Yes.
I am a
Always
man
keep
of many hats.
He's a man of many hands. His name is Skeletor. Alright, take it from me.
I'll take it away.
Oh.
Oh! And he lives somewhere else, out near the asteroid belts. That's where Attorney is, right?
Yeah. Somewhere.
All right, should we get back to the show, or do you guys want to hear more songs?
Someday there's just gonna be, like, after the apocalypse hit, there's just gonna be some dude in a hood and a machete just roaming the wild, mutated lands of Portland. And it's just gonna be like taking down Cronenberg hipsters and just like
Cronenberg
it's
hipsters.
gonna be beautiful.
I'll
And
watch
he's
that.
just gonna be called the Machete. Not Machete like the
No, it's
Danny
gotta be
Trejo
whispered.
movie. No.
Machete.
The Machete. The Machete.
And then it'll echo.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an encore later.
Yeah.
Nude. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Yep, that's what you guys want to watch.
Oh.
We know how to keep the audience around. Come back and be nude. Yes, of course. How about those anti-vaxxers?
How about them? How about them really ruining it for fucking everybody?
I need some help. I want a metaphor to use for other things to sort of talk about how the anti-vax people are to doctors. You know, because imagine if there was another profession where you had completely unqualified people harassing people who were totally qualified, like lawyers. Maybe you had a bunch of, I don't know, or some, I need something like, what's another profession that we could draw like a funny, like what if there were a whole bunch of idiots who went on Google and think they know something and they chase you around and harass you? Like, what's another?
I mean, Show Teen says on the upside they are killing themselves off. Like that's not even fair though. They're not even killing themselves off. They're killing their offspring.
Right.
Like who don't really have a choice. Like teenagers are now sneaking out in the middle of the night to go get vaccines instead of going to parties and stuff because of it's
Right.
Yeah, like their parents who had all the vaccines and managed to live this long to fucking reproduce are all of a sudden up in arms about it right now. It's like saying, okay, it is 28 degrees outside right now.
Right.
There's snow on the ground.
Right.
It's very cold outside. You should put on a coat and boots before you go outside. And then someone going like, no, I don't.
Nope, conspiracy.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need to. That's just Big Jacket telling you that you need to buy something.
Big Jacket.
And then going outside, getting frostbite, and being like, "What the fuck? Why didn't God save me?"
Yeah,
or something.
They always, it's weird because whenever they get a disease, they always blame something. They're like, was your child around someone who's been vaccinated?
Yeah.
Maybe they caught it from that. Maybe, oh, my child got measles. Oh, well, what did the doctor do? Which doctor did you see? We need to know which doctor you saw because, obviously it couldn't be that your child got sick from not being vaccinated. It's obvious. It's obvious that but I want a metaphor to give people because, the whole like medical thing, there's natural, the thing about this is there's natural medicine that works, I'm not talking like essential oils. I'm talking like, you have an infection, you put a pulse of a certain type of herb on there and it will help it. There's natural medicine that absolutely works. It doesn't have to all be chemical. Go to the start area. I was working on that last night. Go to the start area, player start.
I mean, that's a big difference between that and being like, oh, you have rubella? Let me light some sage and sprinkle it all over the house. Like,
Right. I don't know.
here I am doing smoke with my sage.
I'll have to come up with a metaphor later because no one's helping me.
I gave you the
The
it's
snow,
cold outside
the snow
metaphor.
thing, but I want like a profession where you can, like, that would be like.
Oh, hey Logan, you know who's the sword slinger now?
Who is the sword slinger?
For funsies.
The
Yes.
funsies is always the sword slinger.
Yes, for funsies. Oh man, thank you.
What's another job other than doctor or scientist that requires an enormous amount of learning and knowledge and
But
training?
then any jackass can just walk in and tell you wrong. I mean,
Maybe-
lawyers
maybe
on that
mecha-
list
maybe
because
mechanic.
you can represent yourself in court. Yes, Mike Hickey, we can do Skeletor insults later. Don't worry.
Let's do how about like rocket scientist.
Sure.
So imagine you got like a group of rocket scientists building a rocket, right? And there's a whole bunch of people harassing them, starting Facebook campaigns to just say that everything they're doing is bullshit, even though it like clearly works, it shoots to the moon.
Sure.
But we've got a million excuses for that. Like imagine if there was the same sort of fever going on about like, do not trust rocket scientists. Their stuff is bullshit and it's going to make us all die. Like
yeah.
it's that crazy that it'll work in different. I don't know. That's not a best metaphor.
That's.
Pizza
I guess
chef.
that's like walking up to like a computer programmer and like only knowing how to use a fucking abacus and telling them that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like.
That's all I see is I see like complete morons telling scientists and doctors that they're doing it wrong.
Astronomy and astrology. Yeah.
Yeah, oh God. We can go on about this stuff for a long time. Hey, TikTok. Illegal, everything's collecting data on everything.
Yep. But TikTok was doing it on children under 13. Nothing creepy there.
I think it's interesting that when you see, like, I don't know how TikTok makes money. I know they've got some ads and stuff, but they are able to, excuse me, they're able to just pay $5.7 million to the
What?
FTC. Just like,
Can I be oblivious here for a hot second? What the fuck is TikTok? I've never used it or
did
looked at it.
Did you ever use Vine?
Yeah, back
Like little seven.
okay.
TikTok is the answer now that Vine is gone.
Oh, okay.
It's like a shittier version.
All right. That's shameful.
Anybody have any other Vines alternatives? Because I kind of missed that.
I miss Vine a lot too.
I missed that ridiculous Vine.
TikTok is a Portland bar. It's true.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
What kind of bar is this?
You can get vegetarian and vegan options, but also beer and like a semi-crappy atmosphere, just like everybody wants at a bar in Portland.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell just happened? Anyway, Twitter's messing around with this new feature to make the site less awful. They said.
I mean, if you want to make Twitter less awful, delete Twitter. Like,
Twitter's out of all the social networks is the one I like the most.
yeah.
Or no, one I hate the least. But so now they're making a feature where you can censor, or not censor. You can hide yourself.
Yeah, and you
hide
can
tweet.
hide comments and stuff that have appeared. You can hide comments that have shown up in response to things that you've done. And they haven't really fully made it available to everyone yet, and they haven't really gone out all the way and saying like exactly what this entails. But
The thing is interesting. It says you can hide. So it looks like you're able to hide stuff that people have replied to you. Like,
Yeah.
I want to hide this tweet, but it also, in this, if I'm reading it correctly, it looks like I can go and turn off that feature so that no matter what, I always see all the comments. So even if you hide it, I'll still see it. So it's like not really hidden.
Yeah.
If I turn the option off because I want to see all the
it's like hiding behind a window.
right. The other thing, okay, Twitter, this feature, whatever. Let us edit our tweets for the love of God. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for all this hard work, but let us edit our fucking tweets.
Yeah, it's so like, oh, I misspelled this thing. Gotta delete their tweet, repost it. Then
these-
everyone's gonna see that I reposted this tweet with the slight change and be like, well, that jackass. Like, no.
So these fat fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, my phone loves to correct things.
Oh my God.
It's like you'll write a word, like I'll write like turkey, and I'll press the space bar, and it'll turn into like turnkey with a hyphen in the middle of it. It's like, no, I didn't want to say turnkey.
Yeah.
And so the next thing you see on Twitter is me posting at 3 a.m. Hope you enjoy this turnkey dinner.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And then
Winner,
it's
winner,
getting-
turnkey dinner.
Yeah, and then it's got 40 like comments on it making fun of it, and I can't go back and edit it, and I have to delete it and repost the same thing, and then I feel like a jackass, and then everyone comments, "Did you just post this 5 minutes ago?"
Yep.
Thanks, Twitter. That's
exactly what happened.
You ruined my life.
Yeah.
So important that they give us the ability to edit.
Yeah. So, anyway, 3 hours after allying with 8chan, THQ Nordic goes into full apology mode because for some reason they thought it would be a really good idea to do an AMA on 8chan.
It's like 4chan for incels.
Yeah,
and child rapists.
It's like the people that get kicked off of 4chan go there.
Have you guys ever been to 8chan? Oh, I lasted about 10 minutes on 8chan before I realized, holy shit.
What is wrong with people? Yeah.
Yeah. Who made this decision here? Where's the guy's name? Who like said yes to this? Marketing director Philip Brock.
Philip Brock. Yeah. I personally agreed to do this AMA without doing any proper due diligence to understand the history and controversy of the site.
I know that.
Excuse me.
I'll let you gonna read. All right, Skeletor reads Mike Brock, the PR representative. I'll in big in this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put it over there. How about that?
Okay.
So you're not having to lean over.
Yeah.
There. All right. This is getting real.
Yeah.
All right.
I personally agreed to this AMA without doing my proper due diligence to understand the history and controversy of the site. I do not condone child pornography, white supremacy, or racism in any shape or form. Well, aren't you just fucking great? I am terribly sorry for the short-sightedness of my decision and promise to be far more vigorous in my assessment of these activities in the future. This was not about being edgy. This blew up, and I very much regret that I have done this in the first place.
So a PR director from a major company like THQ Nordic did this, right?
Yeah.
One Google search returns like plenty of articles about doxing, plenty of articles about like child pornography, plenty of articles about like just just condoning rape and
Yeah,
sex,
exactly.
that kind of,
Like literally you would just have to type 8chan in and it would bring up the worst of the worst. Or like 1,000 articles being like, why 8chan should be shut down because it's full of pedophiles and Nazis. Like, here you go. Like,
if you're an 8chan user, stop it. I mean, at least go to 4chan. 4chan is like the 8chan. The whole like thing was like, we're going to be a bastion of like censor free content or whatever.
Yeah.
Like like anything goes here. Like the whole, I guess they take the First Amendment to the extreme.
Yep.
By saying like, you know what, anything you say, even if it's terrible or harmful or if it's condoning violence against children or whatever, anything you say is free speech. No. That's not free speech. But go ahead, you guys. You can have your little 8chan. Your little 8, now they're going to dox me. Good luck.
Yep.
My real name's Ward Hale. And I live in your fucking basement.
Yep. Turn around. We're right behind you.
I live in a cave. I live in a cave every day. I don't know what that means.
I think there's like a 420 chan too. If you need to like be a stoner but also be a piece of shit.
16chan yet?
Yeah.
Of all the Chan websites out there, I think 4chan is probably the most grounded, and that's saying a lot.
Wow.
Because 4chan is like way out there. Like that's where like the festering ooze starts, and then it infects other things on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a couple of like
4chan has like posts that start with "Why are you gay, stupid?" Like
one of these. They come around a little slower than a lot of the other websites and people out there, but I go to 4chan for the wallpapers. Like if you guys are wondering like where I get some of my wallpapers, I actually get some of them from 4chan because the way the internet works is like the most heinous, festering, bubbly shit pops up on 4chan first, and then it gets filtered down and thrown onto
Reddit.
Mm-hmm. And then 6 weeks later, it ends up on Facebook, and your aunt or whatever goes, "Oh my God, have you seen this thing?" Like, yes, I saw it 6 years ago on Reddit. And then some other guy's like, I saw it on 4chan.
Yeah.
They're demon possessed.
Yeah.
That was an Alex Jones demon possessed
they
thing.
climb out of the cesspool that they were lurking in and are like, I saw it there. And then they like hack up a bunch of mucus and maggots and then go back down into the pool.
Damn it. But no, I go there for the wallpapers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys go there for? Huh?
Yeah. Admit that you go to 4chan right now
on.
and tell us why.
Yeah. Which one are you on?
I go
stall
there
nights?
when I'm not disgusted by humanity enough, I guess. And just look at I just click on a thing and then see the first 3 articles and go, oh fucking God, and then click off.
Never been to 4chan, Sean. I said,
Have you purchased pizza with
with Bitcoin, I don't know. All right, so if you're not disgusted enough with humanity, let's talk about Christopher Quinn, the representative.
medicine woman?
What?
Christopher Quinn, medicine woman.
I was like, it was. My brain first was like, really, medicine woman?
Yeah.
Christopher. I guess that's sort of a, not really a
just
androgynous name, but
just
no. Okay,
making a nice reference to Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. You're all welcome. Moving on.
4 people got that.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
An old reference.
Yes, that is an old reference.
Rigor got it.
Thank you. That was a trap. Now we know who's old in our comments. Aha. Yeah.
Rigor.
You old bastard.
Yeah.
right.
Roll your walker over here for a minute. Roll your walker. He's got a walker that's on. What are those?
Tennis balls?
No, the things you. What are those? The scooter things, the stupid things you stand on. I forgot the name of them.
The ones that you can turn around and sit on, but then they convert into
No,
a
just the
walker?
ones you stand on, like and you roll around the.
I don't know.
God damn it!
A walker?
No. They need walkers attached to those things.
A Johnny Walker? I don't know.
Anyway, isn't this a wonderful idea? Despite there being zero evidence claiming that video games cause violence or violent activity. Segway. No, not a Segway. Not the one with the handle, but yeah, basically a Segway, but a walker.
Will you be my grandfather, Rigor?
Oh, this is getting weird.
He said he could be, and I'm would you be? Because that would be great. I don't have any.
You don't have any grandfathers?
Nope.
Shouldn't have sold them for buying video game memorabilia.
Yeah. Girls are.
Anyway, so this study here, this proposed law would add a tax to violent video games. Because what?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So we all know this is bullshit, but I'm going to stand back and watch and see if it gets passed, because then we'll know. I mean, everything's taxed.
Yeah. Also, like, what is there? There's not even in this article. There isn't really a thing that says oh, and this is what our definition of violent is in a video game either. Mm-hmm. So that seems like it's totally up to the person that is probably, somewhere in their 50s that's never touched a video game before, but now that they're in charge of figuring out whether or not they are, they have to look at it and they go, oh, well, I punched somebody. That's violent. I don't know. And then, yeah.
The other thing that's interesting this article brings up, it says, what about all the free-to-play violent games? If you start taxing those, so everyone in Pennsylvania all of a sudden is going to have to pay a few dollars or whatever to play Fortnite because there's gun violence.
Yeah.
How is that going to work?
Look, they're already in Pennsylvania. Don't make it worse for them, okay?
Pennsylvania's got good beer. Great beer.
Cheesesteaks.
No. They put
They're
cheese
all
whiz
right.
in their cheesesteaks. What? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. You put some Gruyere cheese like a sophisticated person, and stop acting like because we did it this way first is the right way to do it. That's the wrong way.
Exactly.
Put cheese whiz in there. You're wrong. Just everyone in Pennsylvania is wrong.
Jeeve79 brings up what about violent operas, movies, and rap music then?
No, that's okay
Yeah.
because they grew up with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The video games are a new thing they don't play and they don't understand.
Yeah.
They being old people. So just what we need to do.
Because remember how when people started playing Grand Theft Auto, everybody went out and started punching prostitutes on the street versus when Jackass came out and so many kids fucking hurt themselves because they did a bunch of stupid shit that they saw on TV.
I remember that.
Yeah.
God, I think I might have lost a couple of friends to that.
What
are you guys doing?
A friend of mine definitely put themselves into the hospital because they tried to do something that they saw on Jackass.
Expand.
Ride a shopping cart off a roof.
I knew it was going to be a shopping cart.
Yep, it's always a shopping cart.
Shopping cart is the best. Any of you guys ever been in a shopping cart? I won't tell you that we did what I'm about to tell you we did, but one of my friends got into a shopping cart. We positioned it. We used to do this thing where we put shopping carts in front of our car.
Yep.
And then you see how fast you can get going, and then jam on your brakes and watch the
and
shopping
launch
cart.
the cart. Yeah.
We did that with my friends in the shopping cart.
We did shopping cart chicken. You know, where two friends would push and one person would just sit in the cart and be along for the ride, and then the other person would push it, and then they would see how much guts they had. And most of the time it ended with you ramming carts into each other and then flying forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Somehow I survived.
Oh, God. You guys want to hear a terrible story that I'm not going to say what state I did this in because I don't want to get arrested for things that I did 15 years ago? We found a shopping cart behind a building, and it was full to the top of like half-used paint cans and like paint thinner.
Ooh,
and like
that's just asking for it.
And I was like, we saw it and we're like, that's gonna explode so violently. It just like, and so we knew it. We got to go really fast, and like we had a nice big curb, you know, like that thing's gonna slam into the curb. We got to go on in the car, hit the curb, and yeah, it was just like laughing so hard back in the day. Things you used to do before there was alcohol to drink.
Yeah.
They didn't have alcohol invented back then when I was a kid.
So I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, and I really feel the urge to go to Greece and just start like silently killing people. Just get a spear and like walk up behind them.
When you're on trial, the FBI is going to replay that line over and over again. Just replay
Assassin's
that line.
Creed taught me. I'd like to go on record for that. Yeah.
Well, all right. So there's no segue, but Alien.
Hey, there we go.
Alien is finally going to be released in 4K. They're releasing the original theatrical release and also the 2003 director's cut.
Nice.
And different soundtracks and all that sort of thing. It took them a long time to do this because a lot of the original film had degraded a bit, and they had to go back and restore. And you know, it's a time-consuming process. I love the look of old school film.
Me too.
And 4K Alien. Yeah, that's gonna look.
There's something to be said for practical special effects.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very noticeable, but when they're really done freaking well, I think they hold up a lot better than even like CGI stuff does. Like Jurassic Park is a mix of practical effects and CGI stuff.
The practical looks awesome in the movie.
And Jurassic Park still looks better than some modern movies that came out last week. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the effects and everything, like it still looks better.
I've been on a kick lately where I've watched all the old 80s Schwarzenegger films. If you're easily offended, don't. But because there's like, you know, he shoots people in the head and then always has a one-liner, and people are like, that's so insensitive, but I think it's great. That's just me.
To who? Other people that have their heads blown up?
Yeah.
They can't hear you.
They're dead, aren't
Yeah.
they? But I've been watching all of those old movies of all the practical special effects, and just it was a different world before the internet. I watched Gremlins and E.T. and a lot of the Spielberg ones as well, and just all the way up until like the early 90s. I was curious in all the old John Carpenter movies. So the last few months, I've just been immersing myself in that world, getting myself into a mindset where I can write something that's kind of in that universe. But I've developed a weird sense of existential dread at night,
Nice.
where I have trouble sleeping because where we were then was so much cooler as far as like people weren't as mental about like little insignificant things, and the internet hadn't created groups of insane people and given voices to like people who should not have voices given to them. And it was such a different world back then, and then all the practical effects and stuff, it just felt more I guess real
Magical?
and down to earth, and a little magical, more mystery.
There, back in the day when you saw a movie and you went, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah.
On camera, it was like a really cool effect, and I don't think I've felt that in years going to a movie theater and then wondering like, how did they actually pull that off and put that on film? That's so amazing. Now it's just like, oh, computers. Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
all the new comic book movies, I just like kind of like sit back and there's like stuff going everywhere, and it's like whatever. 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 It's weird, but I mean, even going back and watching those movies, I still have that feeling of like, holy shit, you know, like in 1979 they were able to do this, or whatever year the Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out. Like the spaceships landing and stuff, it looks so cool.
I mean, like
whoa.
when Star Wars came out in '77,
Blew people's mind.
some of the effects that ILM made
Right.
for Star Wars are now like industry standards and stuff. But when that came out, people were like,
Like how?
holy shit! Like when the ship flies over at the beginning and stuff,
Yeah, like-
that like people were in the theater. I don't know, I wasn't alive then, but my parents told me about this, that they were in the theater and they said that people were actually
Like,
going
looking
like and looking at it and stuff. I mean, my grandma told me about how people lost their shit in the theater when she saw Wizard of Oz. And when the house crashes and she steps out and that like reveals Technicolor and stuff, she said
Oh, yeah, Wizard of Oz, yeah.
people in theaters were going, "Oh my god!" Like they couldn't even comprehend that there would be so much color on the screen all of a sudden. Like it was a
Right.
huge thing. So
Technicolor insanity.
yeah, like Jesus.
What is this?
Yeah,
Whoa. Rigor saw the original in 77. I'm kind of jealous. That must have been insane.
Yeah.
And that was back when when Han shot first and everything.
yeah. I mean, I remember people like doing the breathless at Beauty and the Beast when they revealed the ballroom scene.
The cartoon or the
Yeah, the cartoon.
I didn't see that in
when the
theaters,
original cartoon came out.
Yeah.
It was. I remember seeing news reports being like, "They actually used a computer to make this," and people were like, "Oh my god, they used a computer? But how?"
I think in order to achieve the same level of oh my god, all those noises, it's gonna have to be a new medium.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have either like a sort of augmented reality or virtual reality or holographic stuff. We're gonna have to have a new medium, I think.
It's going to be the only way.
All right, Orville.
Don't scroll down. There's spoilers on
yeah,
this.
I did
I
not
just
read
wanted.
this. I
I just brought
refuse.
this up because I wanted to ask our audience about this. Has anybody else been watching the Orville? I have, and I gotta tell you, it's the Star Trek show out right now, in my humble opinion.
Not Discovery.
Not Discovery. I think it's 1,000 times better than Discovery. It's got a little bit of humor to it, but it's very respectfully done towards like other sci-fi shows of its genre and stuff. Like Seth MacFarlane pays very close attention to knowing, and like a lot of like diehard Star Trek fans and stuff are like, this is actually really great.
Especially TNG fans.
Yeah.
TNG and Deep Space Nine. But okay, what's the ratio? Because I haven't watched it yet. What's the ratio of comedy show to taking itself seriously show?
So it's like a workplace dramedy, basically. It's a workplace dramedy that happens to take place on a ship.
All right.
So
So
like,
we're talking like The Office meets TNG?
yeah, kind of. So like sometimes it's just about like the relationships between the crew, and then other times it's the Krill are attacking and blowing up a planet and we need to stop them, but it's just like another day at the job for them. But there's still and like a lot of the really good humor, because it's not like Family Guy humor
Right.
where like the captain's like, that reminds me of the time that I was doing some stupid bullshit while playing shuffleboard
And then
with
chicken
Obi-Wan
fight, yeah.
Kenobi, and then cut to it or anything. It's more like when he's dealing with higher ups and stuff, he'll like make these like, and like kind of side trail off jokes and stuff, or like
Right.
when another species doesn't get it and they have that weird interaction. That's where all the humor comes from. But it's like TNG but with a sense of humor.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Shotgun says top 3 sci-fi shows of all time. What are the other top?
Nice.
What are the other
Show
3
team,
in
yeah,
your
man.
top 2?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what your other one is.
Corn
Yes.
on the cob is the best food. Huh?
Yes, Rigor, I have watched Future Man both seasons and it is beautiful. I really hope season 3 comes out. Even willing to put up with Seth Rogen for a whole season.
That's pushing it. Who's Seth?
Farscape number 1. Okay,
2.
Farscape.
Number 2, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
No, you can't put Doctor Who above TNG and Deep Space Nine and
Yeah, apparently you can. I
can't do
got
that. You're not allowed
respect to
to.
Farscape. Anything that uses Henson puppetry is always gonna like shoot up on my list.
Farscape was Henson.
Yeah, Farscape was Henson Workshop for a lot. They did a lot of practical alien effects for it and stuff.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, so how many people is this going to put out of business? I mean, or put out of a job?
5 that I know of.
5 people going to go out of a job.
So here's something that technology and effort needed to be put forward to. There is now a robot that automatically sorts and prices cards for Magic the Gathering.
To me, it's just another example of a thing a robot can do faster and better than a human, so we're going to be replaced in that
Yep.
area as well. You know,
So, but it uses a link to what is it, mtgstocks.com, and what it does is it has a camera on it that can scan and grade what your card is, and then it will arrange it into piles of value, so that way you can figure out all your dollar rares and things like that, and basically save the people at Guardian Games a week of work.
sorting all those
Yeah.
cards out.
It actually, speaking as someone that used to work at a magic store and stuff like that,
Right.
it takes a lot of fucking time and effort, especially if you're like me and you don't give a fuck about magic.
And you have to look at each card and be like, oh, how much is this one worth?
Yeah, exactly. Like some people that I worked with were able to just be like, that's a $1 card, that's a $1 card, that's a $1 card, this is a $13 card, this is a $20 card, and they would just know
How?
because that's their. I mean, like that's the same way that I can like ramble off stats about dragons to you.
I can do that
like,
about 1980s and 90s space Lego sets and
exactly.
castle Lego sets. I could probably do that.
It's just what their superpower is, but like
And metal
for
bands.
someone like me, it would take to go through a stack of cards like this thick. It would take me a couple hours because I'd have to look up each one online and be like, oh, it's this one. What's the grade on this one? No, and it's like, ugh. I didn't want to do that. I felt like I was wasting my time every time.
It's another Y Combinator company, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And it's called Sorting Robotics. So if they can do that with magic cards, imagine they can do that with pretty much
Yeah,
any other.
the company said that they are going to be. So far, it can only do Magic the Gathering cards, but it's going to be able to do Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards soon.
A little announcement for you guys. So there's a website called Groupies, and it's another bundle website, similar like Humble Bundle and that sort of thing. And right now we've got Chiptune plus Charity, number 14. And if you guys do the $4, you'll get the Zweihander Hollenthal album as part of this package. I think I get like a penny,
Nice.
but it's going toward charity, so I don't care.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So don't even tell them how much you make for it.
Yeah,
Because that's how charity works, people.
yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So I don't even, I didn't even, didn't talk about like how much I make. They were just like, hey, you want to be a part of this? And they said something. I was like, yeah, here's stuff. Here's links. Here's my stuff. You guys can do it. So I looked at their website, looked what they were doing. And I was like, cool. So yeah, check it out over at groupies.com. And that's not the newest album, but it is more chiptuney than the new album. The new album's a little bit too metal, to fit in with a lot of the other chiptuney stuff. But I let them pick which one they wanted to include. And
Nice.
flattering to put me at that $4 mark.
Yeah.
So there's also some other cool stuff in here. Check it out, all of it.
There's a party mix.
Oh, I'm gonna get that party mix.
Get that party mix.
I'm actually, even though I'm on here, I'm gonna buy the $4 one myself just so I can hear everything. I'll do that later. Speaking of Humble Bundle,
Yeah. So over on Humble Bundle right now, there's a couple days left on their Pathfinder bundle. Here we go. We're segueing into D&D type stuff. You're welcome, Rigor.
for $1 you get the core.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty
for $1 right now, you can get the PDFs of like all the basic core rule books and stuff for Pathfinder, which if you don't know what Pathfinder is, when D&D turned into 4th edition, which was pretty much universally hated by most people, Paizo, another company, bought up the rights to 3.5, which is the one that everybody loved, and they kind of kept on modifying it and stuff and turning it into their own system called Pathfinder.
I thought
So
3.5 was open game license, so they were able to just do this.
might have been.
Yeah, I think they have to follow.
I know
have
they
to-
just picked it up after, like they swept in on it after.
I
But-
think because other people can make D&D compatible stuff as long as they adhere to the open game license stuff, and that's why there's Castles and Crusades and all these other games. But go ahead.
So Pathfinder kind of took advantage of the fact that everyone hated 4th edition and put out Pathfinder. And before 5th edition came out, Pathfinder was the game to play for everybody because a lot of people just were like, 4th feels like I'm playing a video game, not playing a RPG, or a tabletop RPG, we'll say. But they also they're celebrating their 10th anniversary and they have a bunch of their stuff available on the Humble Store right now. If you really like 3.5, it's definitely worth picking up. I played Pathfinder for many years. I switched to 5th edition when it came out and kind of walked away from it a little bit. But Pathfinder's a lot of fun. I know it's like notorious for being the game where you can make the most broken-ass characters ever. Like, Pathfinder is a min-maxer's dream.
God, I had a broken ranger in that game.
I had a broken halfling rogue in that game that could literally transpose time and space. But yeah, Like, it's crazy. But Pathfinder is still a really excellent system, and for like $15 you can pick up all their core books, a bunch of supplementary stuff, different information about all their races, and a bunch of campaign settings and things, which can be applied to other stuff. There are really quick
rules for like
converting into
You can
5th
use it-
edition or something like that.
Right.
There's all kinds of really quick stuff, so it gives you this whole wealth of things that you can choose
But
from.
you can pretty easily use like a D&D 3.5 monster manual with Pathfinder.
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
pretty compatible, so it works just fine.
It's totally worth it to pick up the content that you get. This is like, if you went out and bought all these books, you would be spending well over $1,000 for all of it. So,
but how much is it now?
$18 for all the PDFs.
I mean, just getting the basic stuff's all you really need to get
Yeah,
going. For
I mean,
$4
the
or $1.
the core
$1
rulebook and the
is totally-
bestiary and the game master's guide, that's $150 right there.
So I played this for
Maybe $90 because they might have dropped in the price. But
I played this game for a couple of years, and all we had was a core rule book. We had Game Master's Guide, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had a bestiary, and I don't think we had any of the advanced.
Oh man, you also
Maybe we had one of these.
I
but
gotta
don't
tell
remember.
you also, for just the $1, you pick up the Weeby Goblins series, which you play as 4 goblins that somehow keep on avoiding death and continuing on to all these new adventures and stuff. It's super fucking silly, and it's really great to sit down with your friends and just let them be goblins for a couple hours. It's one of the most fun pre-generated campaigns I've ever played.
Gobble it up for only $1.
Yep. Gobble gobble. Turnkey.
We didn't need that extra bit. You guys want to play as a beastman? Speaking of goblins,
So you don't. It's not going to be a playable character,
well,
but
never mind. I'm not interested
yeah.
anymore.
So Vermintide 2 is going to be adding.
That's pretty brutal looking.
Some. Yeah, they look really fucking nasty, but they're going to be adding these beastmen into. They're going to be adding
they
beastmen
sound.
characters, and
Exactly.
they're going to be having an endless survival mode as well. If you haven't played Vermintide 2, it's like Left 4 Dead 2, but better. Because you actually have characters that have different abilities and stuff like that.
Because awesome combat too.
Yeah, it has really solid combat. I've actually dunked a lot of time into this game, more than I would like to admit. But I really, for running the same levels over and over again, it's a lot of fun.
Pick it up. I'm not a wave shooter kind of person, but I like the combat mechanics in
Yep.
the game. It's just a well-made game.
Yeah.
This is interesting news. If you guys are into the Dune universe at all, you're really going to like this. So the guys who brought us the latest Conan RPG games, those brutally unforgiving Conan games that some people
With
love.
the dick sliders.
With the dick sliders. Yeah. They used to call me... No, they never did. They never called me Dick Slider.
Nope, they didn't.
Nope.
Never.
I knew a fella
It was
named...
Richard Slider. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm working on my crime novel series, Richard Slider, of the hard-boiled yet gay Private Eye. Supernatural.
So you'd be Dick Slider?
Yeah, Dick Slider.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Age of Conan fans, they're going to be creating 3 games. One of them's going to be an open-world MMO type game, or they say open-world multiplayer game. Does that mean it's going to be an MMO?
Sounds kind of like that's what it would be.
Let's look at some of their games for history lesson here, just to see what else they've made. This was okay. Mutant felt like
For turn-based, it was pretty fun.
it felt almost just like XCOM, the new XCOM games.
It felt like XCOM, but you're a duck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was a little bit too much of a ripoff. But I haven't played Secret World. Anybody like that?
No.
So, what's up, YouTube?
Huge. Whoa. Conan Exiles. I gotta tell you.
Anarchy.
I gotta tell you. If I may tell you to stop playing video games and start playing tabletop games instead, the Conan RPG series is fantastically fun. It's from Modiphius, the guys that do Tale from the Loops and things like that. It runs on a 2D20 system, and it is just very fucking brutal. And
Can't wait to play that one.
It's so much fun. It's so nasty and brutal, and you feel like you're a barbarian. I played a thief campaign where I played a character that could literally talk people insane. Like, and it was awesome. It was just so much fun, and it's just so gory. And they have this whole thing about hitboxes and stuff too. So like you attack someone and then you roll a die to see where you actually hit them, and that will depend on will change stats and stuff for everybody. Like so you can if you hit them in the leg, it slows them down. If you hit them in the arm, they lose bonuses to their attack and stuff like that.
Sounds like a lot
it's
of stuff to
super
keep track
cool.
of, but I like it at the same time.
Well, we played through Roll20, so the Roll20 app actually kept track of a lot of it for us.
I guess if you're letting a computer do all the calculations.
Yeah. Man, I'm really excited about Atomic Heart 2, Cubig.
We didn't have a computer back when we used to hit armor class 0 in second ed.
THQ.
We were 5 years old calculating that shit. All right. Have you seen this drama that's been going on with the Skyrim Together guys?
Yeah, because Bethesda's now mad that they're making money and
It's
they're
not Bethesda.
Who is it then?
It's the community. It's okay. This is going to be a touchy subject right now, and I'm probably going to get some flack online for a lot of the things I say here. But
What's new?
We have a lot of bandwagoning going on right now, and we have a lot of anger going on because the guys making Skyrim Together, right? They set up a Patreon, and they're making $35,000 a month. $35,000 a month.
Okay.
Now there's 10 guys making this game. 10. So we got 10 developers working on Skyrim Together, which is an online. Well, not online. They've got server. They're putting up servers, right? Mm-hmm. So they've got to pay for the server infrastructure because what this is, it's a version of Skyrim, vanilla Skyrim, that you can go on and join games with other people and play in the same world together. And there's a lot of stuff because this is absolutely not a multiplayer game. Everyone's got their own quest books, and everyone's if you affect something in the world, it's got to affect something in the world on another computer. So this is a major undertaking, and also this game engine is not modern in any way at all. You know, it's still basically the Gamebryo engine, even though they call it something else now, and it's got a few upgrades on it, right? So they used some code from the Skyrim script extender SKSE, which is what you use when you're using a lot of mods, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a free tool online. It's not exactly open source, but it's a free tool, and there wasn't a lot of legal speak on their website about this. Anyway, they used some of the code. Some of the guys at the Skyrim script extender got angry, and they specifically wrote a little legal thing saying, like, people can use our stuff. Our code's available, except for these guys. You guys can't use it, right? The latest version, someone discovered that they have a little bit of the code left from this. And the internet is completely outraged that these guys are making $35,000 a month while stealing a little bit of code from the Skyrim script. Easy, we're going to get a lot of hate for this. We're going to get a lot of hate for this because I'm not taking a side here entirely, right? Mm-hmm. But now people on Reddit have exploded, and they're like, fuck these guys with their rich, their rich Mercedes driving $35,000 a month. Okay, I did the math, right?
Have you divided that by 10?
Divided by 10.
Yeah.
And then divide that. So I did all the math for like 12 months and all that stuff. And after taxes, they're making about $20 an hour if they work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Like a regular 40-hour a week job. Mm-hmm. They're probably working more than that because that's what. Yeah. And then on top of that, you have to factor in the server costs. So $35,000 a month is probably ends up being around $16, $17 a month after taxes. So they're able to pay their bills.
Are they working out of a place together?
No.
Okay, so they don't have to rent a space.
No,
okay.
No. It's not like an official game dev. So when you think about they're making like $16, $17 an hour, probably after taxes. That's probably what they're making on this with 10 people.
Okay.
Unless one guy's hoarding up all the money. Now, you could see that number on Patreon and be like $35,000, holy shit. Let's turn into capitalists and let's put up paywalls. A lot of people are screaming about like you can only play the alpha version right now if you're a Patreon, so it's a paywall, right? So there's that argument. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to rant here for a minute. We have to get a full view of the picture because no one has the full perspective of it. Everyone's screaming and yelling on the internet, right? So you've got people screaming that this is a paywall, right? The answer to that is okay. Yes, if you give money, you can play the alpha version right now, which the developers have said does not work. The alpha version it's not something you can actually enjoy and play. It's broken. It's a perk for being a Patreon subscriber, right? So that's the thing. But people are saying still like they're upset. It's not going to be a paywall when it's finally released, right? Then you've got the developers who have just kept saying this is a non-issue, this is bullshit, we've removed all the code, people are calling them liars, and it's going back and forth. Developers, the thing you need to do is absolutely prove that all the code is gone immediately. Like you haven't fully done that yet. People have still, they've said online, we've removed all the code, but you need to prove it. Like release your code so everyone can look at it. Release all the code. Release 100% of your code. You're making a mod for a game. You're not making your own closed source game. You're making a mod. Release everything so everyone can look at it. People have found bits and pieces of the SKSE code in there. Yeah. And then maybe make a little donation to the SKSE guys if they'll accept it. Because I know some guys have this righteous mentality where they're like, we're not taking your corporate buy-off money. I've experienced this before. I've tried to offer people, 100% of our profit for our
the
senpai. Yeah. They wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take any profit. They're like, we don't want any of your evil money. You're making money. We don't like that. And I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make it. I offered them 100% of the profits. They said no. So there's a lot of that mentality in the open source community where it's like, you know what, money is beneath us and we don't want anything to do with it. And if you're making a lot of money, you're corporate scum, then let me go back to my Pizza Hut job now and leave me alone. And then I'll come home at night and be righteous on the internet. There's this weird dynamic going on. So I think the wise thing to do is to step back and watch what happens, but also I don't think it's cool to be yelling and screaming about any one side of this. If the developers release everything to the internet, and if you don't like what they're doing, withdraw your Patreon support. But at the same time, I still really want to play Skyrim together. That's at the end of the day, it's like, okay, there's some shit going on here. Some people are learning lessons on the internet right now. Some of the developers are learning lessons about how this shit works. They're learning lessons about feelings and people being like, I spent so much time working on this code and you guys are just making $35,000 a month and stealing lines of my code. Fuck you guys. There's feelings involved there. They don't want, the SKSE guys obviously are upset. So you have to make sure that is a factor when you're working on things. People's egos, people's feelings, people's, hard work has gone into this. So they have to figure that out. They're going to have to release everything to the public, make a donation. And then people at home, you have to realize that $35,000 sounds like an absurd amount of money. But you have to do the math and realize that everyone has to eat and everyone has to, be taken care of. And if they're working on this full-time without side jobs, which it seems like some of them are, they're not making an absurd amount of money when you divide that by 10 and take taxes and all that stuff into account. So, yeah, all kinds of shit going on here. But if we take a nice, enlightened, centrist view, I think that's the best perspective to have. That's my rant. It's over.
Oh, their Patreon's down now.
Really?
It wasn't before. Oh, there it is.
Back.
Okay.
Whoa, 34 to 27,000.
I
wonder how much this is going to go down.
Yeah. Keep track of that.
Yeah. Damn. All right. Cyberpunk 2077. E3. Yes. Moving on.
They're going to be at E3. Hooray.
Yay.
Gearbox, speaking of being at PAX, blah, 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 blah. Gearbox is going to be at PAX West or PAX East. And they said that they are going to be talking about some new project that they have not talked about in the past. So a lot of people are speculating and crossing their fingers that it's going to be Borderlands 3. Me as well. But they're also kind of thinking that originally they kind of talked about doing a special edition re-release of Borderlands and stuff like that too. Which if
remake every video game ever. That's the new thing.
So like at that point, I kind of feel like that's being a little disingenuous when saying we're going to talk about something new that we've never done. But because that's just like updating a game that you've already done.
I missed that comment from, is that Crypt? How do you say? I can't see the... Cryptech. Yeah, I really want Skywind and Skyblivion, but that's another conversation entirely. But yeah.
Showteen, you and I, man, same page. Borderlands is one of my favorite co-op games I've ever played.
I tried to get into it, but I didn't get that far into it before I stopped playing, so I'm not sure why. It wasn't blowing my mind. But it was really fun.
You got to play with friends.
Yeah. I mean, I tried, but it's all right.
I played the first Borderlands with a buddy of mine. This is back when I lived in Massachusetts, and we ended up getting snowed in at his house in the middle of nowhere. So we just spent 2 days getting super duper high and playing Borderlands and beat it all the way through, and it was awesome. One of the best times I've ever had playing video games on top of that.
There's one element to that game that is similar to other games that are like really good games that turns me off. I get bored with bullet sponge enemies.
Sure.
Like if I have to shoot, it's a I'm not talking about boss. Bosses are big things, you know.
That makes sense, yeah.
But if it's just like a regular bad guy and I have to headshot him like 4 times, I'm like,
This didn't take too long.
like I'm okay with me getting shot like 5 times and dying. You know,
Yeah.
I want a more realistic mode where like you shoot someone with 4 bullets and they go down, or two shots to the chest, 1 shot to the
A
head.
shot to the head should pretty much do it.
Right,
Yeah.
but if I'm shooting some guy 15 times in the head and he's shooting me 30 times in the head and we're not
Yeah.
dying, it feels weird to me. I don't know.
Some Phineas Gage stuff going on.
Yeah. So
For those of you who don't know, Phineas Gage was a guy that got a railroad spike through his brain and through his head, and he survived
all right.
because it hit on critical parts of his brain.
that's pretty
Yep.
much all of the video games that I get bored with.
So there is going to be a new Star Wars game announced that the company behind Titanfall and Apex Legends, Respawn, will be working on it.
I put Call of Duty up here in the top, but like
Yeah.
modern Call of Duty, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That was like
Yeah.
the good Call of Duty. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The latest Call of Duties have been nothing like that one. So yeah, this is a good company to be working on a Star Wars game.
Yeah, so hopefully it won't have the Star Wars syndrome that has happened to so many games in the past with Star Wars, where it gets along in development and then something appears to completely destroy it for some reason.
EA.
Yeah.
something
Something called EA comes along. Oh,
What's happened?
so we should talk about what I was playing this week.
Oh yeah, let's see what you're playing.
Yeah, ready?
So we got any more Hotline Miami clones or what?
Kind of.
What
You
is
threw me off. This is Ape Out.
Oh, so that's your path right there.
Yep.
That's something Hotline Miami didn't do. Show you where you went. Did it or did they?
I don't remember. It's
I'm
been a
pretty sure
while.
they did everything first.
So this is Ape Out, and it's
Jesus, the violence.
it's a game about being a gorilla escaping from a lab facility to smooth jazz music.
That is some frantic drumming right there.
Yeah.
So you gotta. Oh, Jesus.
So you.
I like the brutality.
Yep. So you basically move through each level, and each level will have a different challenge for you with different kinds of guys. And the neat thing is that all the music and stuff kind of goes in tune with what you're doing. So like,
Yeah.
when you smash a guy, you get a cymbal rip,
Oh, look out.
and then the color changes really nicely with things. It's just a very
It's super stylized.
Yeah, super stylized, super basic in its presentation, but a lot of fun.
Okay, perspective. I want to talk about that for a second
Yeah.
because in Hotline Miami you can see around all the walls, but in this game the perspective, the walls come all the way to the edge of the screen, so there's more suspense and there's more surprise. When you go around the corners, you're not exactly sure what's going to be there. I like that.
This
Quite like
flashlight
that.
guy, come here.
They got tried to shoot you.
Yeah, if you grab people that fire a shot, you can only take 3 shots before you.
At least they give you 3 because you don't have a weapon.
You are a weapon. You're a goddamn gorilla.
You're so ouch. One more and you're gone, right?
I think so.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no! Oh.
All right, so would you recommend it?
Yeah, it's a lot of. This is a really great game if you just have like a couple minutes to kill,
Or if you
and
want to do this all night?
or if you want to play forever and ever. But the levels are quick but satisfying. The music's really fun.
Is the motto of this game Gorilla?
It should be. I'll let
That's
him.
an awful motto.
I'll let him know what you say. What you
That's
think.
an awful
So
motto.
we actually tried this out at PAX that
Yeah,
last time
PAX
we were there.
Prime. Or no,
And-
they PAX West now.
Yeah.
There is no Prime. That's sensitive stuff.
That's insensitive to the non-prime numbers.
All right, everybody, play this game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, really cool, stylized, quick and easy. Right now it's on PC and Switch, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it.
We're back now.
We're back now?
Yeah,
All
I don't know.
right.
Did that thing loop or
It was weird. It's hard to tell.
I thought we set it up to not loop, but I don't know. If, you guys
Yeah.
tell us because we didn't have any audio for that thing. I don't know if it's looping
Yeah.
or not. We just push play.
So yeah,
Anyway,
anyways.
poker. Oh Jesus, weeping on the cross.
Oh
dying.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's my favorite thing to talk about on the planet. There is a new Pokemon game that has been announced. Yeah. So happy. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield is due available late 2019, which normally means that it comes out around November so they can take advantage of the Christmas time shopping and stuff. But yes, there is going to be a new Pokemon, and they've already released the first 3 starters.
Wasn't there a Pokemon like an hour ago?
Yeah, there was Let's Go that came out, but that was just a remake of Pokemon Yellow. This is like a full new game specifically for the Switch.
Oh, so this is like the. I thought that one was the Switch game, but this is the Switch.
This
game.
is the first Switch game that is. It's going to be like old school Pokemon with random encounters in the grass and stuff like that. A bunch of new Pokemon added to the game.
Pretty game world.
Yeah, it's going to look really nice. So a lot of people are worried that this is good. Like, this is the end of an era now that's going to be on the Switch, and kids are going to suffer for it because not every kid can afford a Switch, but they can't afford a 3DS or something.
YouTube asks, what's so good about Pokemon? Like, what is if someone who never played Pokemon before, what's
so good about it? Honestly, it's a really solid RPG that has a lot of replayability to it because you only have 6 Pokemon that you can have on a team, so you can always try with different team dynamics every time you play through the game.
And JRPG style combat, right?
Yeah, plus there's a huge meta of like playing, fighting against each other and other players and stuff. Like there's a whole online verse and things like that. But yeah, you capture creatures and force them into gladiatorial combat. It's awesome.
Oh.
But I'm really excited, and I really, really hope that this fire starter. Not fire starter. I'm the fire starter. The fire type starting Pokemon, Scorbunny. I hope to God that it's not going to be a firefighting type because that's what keeps happening every time.
You lost me when you said Pokemon.
Yeah, that's okay.
A long time.
Yeah.
Trying to think where you lost me. Like when you said Pokemon, you lost me.
Yeah, and these 3 that look like the Powerpuff Girls kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They weren't so cute. They weren't so damn cute. It would be easier for me to.
They don't stay cute. They get big and ugly.
Oh, by the way, we didn't say this. You can grab Ape Out on the place to buy things.
On GOG.
GOG.
Or Steam, probably.
No, but GOG.
Yeah, but GOG. Grab it. It looks awesome.
Like Captain Kirk at the Gordon.
What weed do I inject?
Yeah.
I don't know. It changes every week whenever I feel like getting at the shop, you know?
There's a problem in Oregon with weed. Have you heard about, like, the weed problem?
What about it?
There's too much weed.
Oh.
There's more weed than anyone can smoke. They're having to store it in warehouses, and now the price of weed is going down, and people who had fields of growing hemp and marijuana and weed and all that stuff, they're going out of business. There's just too much weed.
That makes sense.
Because everyone was so excited about it, and they were going to be like, bro, I mean, even people came to me and they're like, bro, you got to get out of that shit you're doing right now and get a weed field. So I'm glad I didn't listen to those guys.
I mean, also, there's this whole thing about where all the taxes from weed were supposed to go back into the school system, but the actual Oregon school systems has not seen a dime of it yet because they're too busy paying off all these different companies and things like that. So they're actually...
The ones they gave incentives to?
Yeah, so the taxes aren't actually going to the schools like they said they were supposed to.
Yet.
Yeah.
Is anyone doing it right? I think Colorado's done a pretty damn good job, but I don't know. I don't live in Colorado, and I don't hear everything that's going on.
Las Vegas had it pretty well when we went there. I mean, they're really good at taking things that were formerly illegal and doing it right.
All right. This is someone called the police because at the veterinary clinic, there's a male. He's making repeated calls from a male subject who's trying to make a medical appointment for himself. The vet does not take human patients and wants police to do a welfare check.
Okay.
What's his persona? I want to know. I want to know right now.
Too.
Because there's like there's that tiny percentage of furries who think that they are like animals on the inside or something. But that's what the news talks about all the time. They're like, like there'd be like 0.02% of furries think that they are actually animals. And the news is like, all furries think they are animals, but maybe he's one of those guys. I don't know.
We have a police to 81st and Sandy report of a disturbance/road rage situation. 2 males fighting, one threatening the other with a squeegee.
Okay, machetes are out, squeegees are in, everybody.
Squeegees are the new machetes, guys.
Invest in squeegee stocks right now. Squeegee? Wow.
Yep.
Okay,
this one.
Which one?
Report of a police residence to Southeast Kelly. Report of a vehicle just stolen. Green Honda Pilot taken while warming up in the driveway. Guys, it never gets cold enough here that you have to warm up your fucking car. And if you do have to warm up your car, keep it locked, idiot.
It's like it was like 45 degrees today.
Yeah.
Like it's not. What kind of? And it's that car doesn't even come in diesel. If you have a diesel, an old diesel car, like old, maybe down in the 30s, you're gonna want to warm it up a little bit, but it's gonna have to be like the low 30s, and even then, it's not that big of a deal. What are you doing warming up your car? You gotta like have the heat on for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
rain
Here's
on
all the
that for a while.
pileups that we had because we had like a third of an inch of snow and everyone started dying.
Yeah, here's everyone just going crazy.
Yeah.
Look at that slickness. Nobody has snow tires here, so it's just like, is this someone sliding around right here? Is that
Yeah,
what
they
that
just
is?
have they either have chains or
And chains are not what you want for this kind of weather.
nope.
You want snow tires.
It's ridiculous.
But you can't.
Yeah.
You're not going to have snow tires in Portland, Oregon. It snows 1-2 days a
Mm-hmm.
year, so yeah, it's 37 degrees.
All right, do a search for machete.
All right, let's get this over with.
Let's. Nope, no
Nope.
machetes, guys.
I'll go to the next page. All right, it's a squeegee week. It's not a machete week. Yeah. Whoa. Southie Grand and Ash, Recall reports an unknown person crawled into their car and won't get out. Crawled into their car.
Yeah,
Crawled.
Like I'm viewing like the girl from The Ring crawling out of the TV, like and
and won't get out.
That's how you get punched in your car until you get out. Like if an unknown person got into my car and then refused to leave, that would be very simple to just keep hitting them until they left.
Be like, have you tried violence?
Yeah.
No, it's Portland.
No, I'm just gonna ask nicely. All right.
This shit wouldn't fly in Boston. All right, give us a couple of insults.
All right. Give us an insult here. Give us a couple.
We're
I
waiting.
am prepared. I had a naked person jump into my car once.
It's not an insult, but it works.
No.
All right, a couple insults, then we're done.
If laughter is the best medicine, your face must be curing the world.
Oh, wonderful. Scoot over a little bit because you're off. There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
Splendid.
Skeletor would never wear that.
You don't know what Skeletor would or wouldn't do, you boob.
I speak for Skeletor.
You're so ugly, you scared the crap out of the toilet. Your face is bony and inanimate.
All right.
Yeah, I like it that way.
Ah, there we go.
Your mother is a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Now go away before I taunt you a second time. Of course I am Skeletor. Why else would I speak with this outrageous accent?
Oh, God. What a strange person. All right, what else we got there?
Happy spring break, time for some bourbon and Beat Saber. It sounds much dirtier than it is. You're so fake Barbie is jealous.
It's a pretty good one, yeah.
You suck and you also have a stinky. I don't know.
I think this person has kids, and that's I've noticed when people have kids, they have a different language.
Yeah. Since light travels faster than sound, you appear bright until you speak. If I wanted to kill myself, I'd climb your ego and jump to your IQ. You boob.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Good.
Wow. All right, Mike is hired to just write these things. Could you send us like a file of all these things?
You put lipstick on your head to make up your mind.
That one again with fervor.
With fervor. Why don't you go play in traffic?
Oh, God.
Why?
All right, I think that's enough. Unless another one shows up in like 5
Yeah.
seconds, we're going to end it.
You're so dumb that there was a scratch and sniff snicker at the bottom of a pool, you would drown.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Good day to all of you.
Maybe.
Or a terrible day. I'm not the boss of your day. Whatever.
All right, bye.